Good morning and welcome to my introduction to Aubrushli. Now, Aubrushli is my solution to not being able to do pre-production. I made some films like Pseudoniverse, which took way longer than they should have. I didn't have the tools, and then I looked for the tools and found the tools for doing pre-production, for shot lists, for breakdown summaries, all that kind of stuff is quite expensive. And even I found that script writing software was relatively expensive. Although, to be fair, I found a solution to the script writing software. And that's where we begin, really. So I found Fountain, open source script writing format, and I wanted to utilize that to create pre-production lists in the same way that something like Studio Binder does create pre-production lists, and to create shot lists in a similar fashion. So anyway, so that's how the idea for Aubrushli was born. So what is Aubrushli? So if I just open this up here, so this is Aubrushli in a nutshell. It is just a very basic Windows application. I've also got a Mac version, although it's not quite as up to date, where what you do, you have a script in a Fountain file format. For this presentation, I created a script from ChatGPT, and I've called it Jane's Dilemma. It's standard ChatGPT. It's not going to win an Oscar anytime soon if I made this, but it's great for a demonstration. I did try and find out, can I do a breakdown summary and a shot list using ChatGPT? The shot list wasn't, I don't think, as comprehensive as I've created for Aubrushli, and the breakdown summary, it just didn't understand. I asked it whether it would create a breakdown summary similar to the one that Studio Binder does. It showed what it believed the configuration should be, and then completely ignored that configuration when it tried to actually make the breakdown summary. Anyway, so yes, Jane's Dilemma, I've called this. It basically tells the story of Jane and how she gets back to, or she gets back together with Tom, and her friend Sarah turns up at one point. It's awful, but anyway, it's very useful for showing Aubrushli how it basically works. So this is a Fountain format document. As you can see, it's not quite the same as what you'd expect to see in a script. This is Fountain, which is the open source plain text markup language for screenwriting, as it says. And what I did was I had a look at the syntax of Fountain. And within the syntax of Fountain, I discovered there's a thing called Boneyard. It's a special tag where it has a slash and an asterisk, and then some text, and then a closing asterisk and slash. And it ignores everything within that. We can utilize that, and I did utilize that for Aubrushli. None of this will be seen by the application that creates the screenplay format that you're used to. So that's why what Aubrushli does. It uses these Boneyard tags within the Fountain document to create breakdown summaries and to create shot lists. So what happens is you load this Fountain file that we've just seen a minute ago, Jane's Dilemma. We've loaded that in this, and at the minute there's nothing in here. I've not utilized the Boneyards at all, but we can create a cast list. What that does is it just finds who the cast members are, and it tells you how often they have a line of dialogue, which gives you an idea of who the most important cast members are, which you probably should know anyway. But so okay. So with that, I'm now looking to save the cast list, and I've selected the radio button here, which ungrays, like these two, ungrays the dialog box here. I've then clicked browse, and I'm going to browse to the cast.csv. It's not normally created, but I have created them in the past, so I'm going to overwrite the ones that I've already created. So I'll save that, It says that it already exists, and yes. And then that's not actually completed it. Nothing happens until you click start. And then when you click start, it says program completed successfully, cast list created. And then we'll close that up. Now if we have a look here, this was the cast.csv that I just created. It's CSV file format. The reason it's CSV file format that I've chosen is because it opens easily in a spreadsheet. Right now it immediately happily shows us that Jane is the person who speaks the most, Sarah speaks a bit, Tom actually is the secondary character. And that's it for the introduction to Aubrushli. So we've seen what Aubrushli does, why it exists, and we've seen a little bit about the cast lists. Next up, I want to show you the most important feature, I believe, of Aubrushli, which is the shot lists. But that'll be coming up in the next video. In the meantime, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time. Have a good day.